Okay, here we are on Boone Trace at the Laurel and Knox County line around Route 233 just north of the town of Gray. And we're going to take a driving tour of Boone Trace through Laurel County. What is Boone Trace? It is the first road or trail ever into Kentucky, blazed by Daniel Boone and his trailblazers in 1775, and it went right through here in Laurel County, Kentucky. It has been said that no other trail is of greater significance to the founding of Kentucky and the opening of the West. We'll be traveling up Route 233 to Robinson Creek Road to Echo Valley Road. This is Raccoon Springs, right there. It's on the backside of the property owned by Mr. Bill DeWeese. Cherry Hill is the road here, and probably the actual Boone Trace that's paved over. Raccoon Springs was an area that was very popular with early Kentucky long hunters because of its good water that was coming right out of the hillside, just like it is today. The spring got its nickname because either Daniel Boone or Henry Skaggs was getting a drink of water from the spring when a raccoon came out of the bushes and scared him to death. It was such a popular spot that Indians often laid ambush to attack early pioneers. Many souls have perished right here in this area. How moving is that? And this is the marker right here, put here in 1942 by the Laurel County Historical Society in 1942. 1942 is the 150th anniversary of Kentucky becoming a state in 1792. And this marker reads, Raccoon Spring, Long Hunter Station Camp, Boone Trace, 1775 to 1795, Wilderness Road, 1795 to 1865, and Kentucky, 1792 to 1942. From here the trace goes overland and no roads parallel it. So you have to zigzag through the area in a car. It enters the woods here off of Walnut Road. Another marker is on Slate Ridge Road near Boggs Road. And another on US 25 near Ferriston. Between Raccoon Springs and Happy Hollow Road is one of the best wooded segments of Boone Trace, near a large city, London. It can be entered near the Slate Ridge Bible Church. Our next stop is Levi Jackson Wilderness Road Park. We're now in the back of Levi Jackson Park, and this is an actual documented section of Boone Trace. There is a 1942 stone marker on one end and a DAR marker at the other end of the walking trail. Be sure to walk on this actual section of this historic trail. There was also a dreadful tragedy that happened here along Boone Trace. All but 3 members of the McNitt family were massacred by the Indians here in 1786, and most were buried in the cemetery located at the park. Another interesting thing about Levi Jackson Park, it is the only place where Boone Trace and the Wilderness Road are on the same property. This is an actual piece of the Wilderness Road along Route 229, and Boone Trace is in the back of the park. We're now moving out of town along Highway 638, McWhorter Road, and there are a couple of stone markers along the way. One is at the corner of Sand Black Road, sitting in this front yard. And another is along the side of the road near 3194 McWhorter Road. We're now heading up the road to the famous Hazel Patch along Highway 638 to Feltner Steer Road, where there's another stone marker at the intersection of Highway 30. There's a segment of the actual trail just across the road from the marker on the Oliver property. Then we'll turn up 1394 over to Highway 490 at Hazel Patch. We're now at Hazel Patch, along Route 490, where Daniel Boone and his men continued north, leaving Skaggs Trace, an old hunting trail. John Floyd and Benjamin Logan, about 1 month behind Boone, actually followed Skaggs Trace over to Crab Orchard, which was the genesis of the Wilderness Road, which came later in 1796. An interesting feature of Hazel Patch is the Woods Blockhouse, which is one of the earliest permanent buildings in the wilderness, built around 1793. It was like a small fortress out in the wilderness, where a person could escape the dangers of being out in the open from animals, Indians, and the cold. This marker is on the location of the Woods Blockhouse and is on the farm of Warney Joseph, next to Hazel Patch Creek. It can be seen across the creek on Murray Cemetery Road. At Hazel Patch, small game was plentiful, because they liked the hazelnuts which grew on the hazelnut trees in the area. Also, when ripe, they made a nice snack for the hunter, so this site was very popular. This is one of the DAR markers along Boone Trace. DAR stands for the Daughters of the American Revolution. The DAR put out 15 such markers along Boone Trace in 1915 to commemorate the trace. This is the one that's in front of Mount Carmel Church. It is in kind of bad shape, as you can see, but the state DAR is working to refurbish the Kentucky markers. You may have noticed that there are 3 different kinds of markers along Boone Trace. 1, the 1942 stone markers. 2, the DAR markers, like this one. 3, the Kentucky Historical Society markers. What's interesting about this particular monument is that there is a stone on the top of it with a D. Boone inscribed on it. Possibly Daniel himself did this. Down the road on Highway 490, another 1942 stone marker is located at the corner of Winding Blade Road. Close to the Rockcastle River, on Highway 490, the Sheltoe Trace, a man-made hiking trail in the Daniel Boone National Forest, crisscrosses and merges with Boone Trace from the southwest for a short distance and then follows Highway 89 into Jackson County. We finished our driving tour right here at the Rockcastle River, at the county line. Boone forded the river at some point near here and can't. We hope you've enjoyed our Boone Trace auto tour through Laurel County, Kentucky. We would love you to get out, drive the tour on your own, learn the markers, and learn the fascinating stories for yourself. To get further information about a driving tour through the county, visit the Laurel County Tourism Center at 140 Faith Assembly Church Road, London, Kentucky 40741, or at the Friends of Boone Trace website at www.boonetrace1775.com. Look for map number 1 on the website, which has to be read on a computer, and for map number 2, the Avenza app, which can be downloaded onto a mobile device.